Much of southwest Florida is under a high fire danger right now. We'll take you live to the scene of a large brush fire with a message you need to hear from fire officials.
Bang, bang, and then bang, bang, and then bang, bang.
Plus, an accused shooter is in custody this morning. You'll hear from neighbors who woke up to gunshots.
I'm not going to disrespect.
Plus, a racist rant caught on camera. And wait till you hear what set that man off at a Fort Myers Beach Walmart.
Live, the news you count on. NBC2 News Today.
Happy Monday, everyone. It is straight up 5 o'clock. Thanks for counting on NBC2 News Today. I'm Lisa Spooner.
And I'm Alan Campbell. Folks, we are set to have a warm day here in southwest Florida, but conditions, they do remain dry this morning. Let's check it out with First Alert meteorologist Jason Dunning. So, Jason, with these dry conditions, should we be concerned about the fire danger risk?
Yeah, the fire danger today, especially for Lee County, is going to be very high. Over the weekend, we actually saw this in the extreme category, so these have been coming down a little bit, some improvement, but overall, you can see that color scale there. We're in the red in Lee County, as I mentioned. We're in the orange for the rest of southwest Florida, except DeSoto County, and so that's why the NBC2 First Alert Storm Team has issued that fire alert, so no outdoor burning today. One of the reasons why the fire danger is so high today is because the air is very, very dry. We know the soil's dry because we're in the middle of the dry season. At least the winds will not be as strong compared to what we saw over the weekend, so that could help a little bit if a fire were to start. But there's a lot of dry brush out there, and we're not tracking anything in terms of precipitation out there this morning on the NBC2 First Alert live Doppler radar sweeping in real-time red, and that's the way it's going to look out there later this afternoon too. No rain in the forecast, at least for today. Temperatures, meanwhile, feeling very pleasant. 53 in Punta Gorda. Yeah, it's a little bit chilly out there this morning after that cold front moved through late last week. We got some of that cool air still filtering down into southwest Florida. 62 Naples. And we made it down to the mid to upper 50s across our inland areas. So we're going to stay in the 50s for the next few hours, but it's not going to last very long. And after we see that full blast of sunshine through the morning, that's going to propel temperatures up pretty quickly into the 80s by 1 o'clock today. So mostly in the 70s here as we go through the second half of the morning. And we're going to make it up to 87 degrees by 3 o'clock. Just a few degrees warmer compared to what we saw yesterday. The nice thing is it's going to feel like 87. We're not going to have very high humidity out there today. And you can see those rain chances from start to finish. Got the goose egg up there, but we will see an opportunity for rain coming down the road. But we're going to stay dry through the evening, 9 o'clock tonight, down to 70 degrees. So it looks good if you have any Monday night plans outdoors. We'll track that next weather system coming up and also give you an update on our drought situation here across the area. That's at 5:15.
All right, thanks, Jason. Your time right now is 5:02, and no doubt southwest Florida has been very dry lately, and fire crews across our community were swamped this weekend with multiple brush fires. So you're taking a look at flames, or at least some of the smoke that was coming from those flames that sparked in Bonita Springs. So this was on Vincent and Sand roads. Crews were going to be back out here again later this morning. That's where NBC2's Chandler Blackman joins us live. So Chandler, what do fire officials want us to know today?
Well, Lisa, as Jason just mentioned, it is dry out here, and I don't know if you can tell by the darkness or not, but it's also very smoky out here as well in these parts of Bonita Springs. If we can pan around, Simon, you can see that thick smoke. And over here in these bushes, I don't know if you can get a tight shot of that, Simon, you can see small flames still burning. So this fire is continuing. This morning, Lisa, fire crews are encouraging residents to keep their eyes open and to stay diligent. The fire here this morning is 100% contained, even though we're showing you these flames at 120 acres. Crews will be back here in a few hours to make sure nothing pops up. The fire started Saturday and grew, spreading into Sunday. Firefighters were seen going up and down this narrow gravel road containing the flames. Helicopters circled overhead, dumping water on parts of the wooded area. Luckily, no homes or any other structures were in danger. Witnesses we spoke to say they saw the billowing smoke from miles away.
I was coming down Bonita Beach Road heading east, and I noticed all the smoke and the helicopters flying over.
Now, fire crews say the windy, humid weather kept them busy this weekend. You can count on NBC2 to keep you updated once we learn a cause is determined. I'm live in Bonita Springs, Chandler Blackman, NBC2.
Stay safe out there this morning, Chandler. Thank you. A new video this morning shows fire crews responding to a burn in Golden Gate Estates. Take a look here. You can see a pile smoldering on 42nd Street Northeast. Right now, we are working to confirm how the fire started. Right now, there is a countywide burn ban, so you should not be burning anything outside.
Now, Hendry County also saw fires this weekend. Crews were on scene in Montura on South Datil Street and Appaloosa Avenue. That fire was 2 acres, but again, good reminder, make sure you are not doing any outdoor burning while our conditions remain this dry.
Time right now is 5:04. Eusebio Montoya was in court on Sunday. Lee County deputies say he shot at them Friday morning and hit a 16-year-old sleeping in a car. It happened on Gilbert Avenue South. Montoya is now facing multiple charges, including first-degree attempted murder of a law enforcement officer. NBC2 spoke to a couple who woke up to the shootout. Take a listen.
So the guy was shooting right here where my mother-in-law sleeps. Cop was over there with the kid. He comes around the building, bang, bang, and then bang, bang, and then bang, bang.
Montoya won't be arraigned until mid-April. The victim is still recovering this morning in the hospital. Count on NBC2 to continue tracking this case.
5:05. It is a new week of trading, and that begins in just a few hours from now. I'm Stacey Deffenbaugh watching those numbers to start off a new Monday morning. Hope you had a great weekend. Grant's directing us. Grant, good morning. INET2 is our source there. And you see that third column, a mix of red and green, a mixed bag overnight of trading. Now, this week, a lot of headlines, a series of key economic reports and data that we'll be watching. Several big reports expected. Investors also monitoring the developments in Russia, in Ukraine, and expectations about the Fed's plans to hike interest rates. Lisa, we'll be watching it all right here in the NBC2 Alert Center.
All right, thanks, Stacey. 5:06. A body is found on the green at a Fort Myers golf course. This was at the Eastwood Golf Course on Ortiz and Colonial. Police were there Friday investigating, even though golfers were still on the course.
So we opened our office door, and saw the entire golf course was full with officers, detectives, EMS, fire department. So the general manager went over and asked, well, what's going on? Is everybody here, because of the food? And we later found out that it was a body floating on hole 14.
Fort Myers police have only said the person was a man. We're working to find out more about him.
This morning, we're seeing the body cam footage from Collier County deputies who rushed to save a man bitten by a tiger at Woon's Everglades Airboat Tours near Everglades City. Employee Ignacio Martinez stuck his hand into the tiger enclosure. Look at this video here. After another employee repeatedly told him not to, then a female tiger grabbed onto his arm.
Top of the middle finger's missing. Hey, the top of the middle finger's missing.
Hang on, guys. I was a combat lifesaver in the Army. You mind if I jump in?
Yeah, just chaos there. Thankfully, the tiger let go quickly, and a veteran was able to apply a tourniquet to Martinez's arm until EMS arrived. Right now, it's still unclear how he's doing this morning.
From your Cape Coral News team, a road rage incident ends with a man shooting into a car with children inside. This was on Veterans Memorial Parkway in Santa Barbara Boulevard. The victims say they were tailgated by 2 men in a dark gray Dodge car, so they tapped their brakes to try and get them to back off. One passenger admitted to flicking a cigarette at the car. Well, that's when the driver of that gray car asked their passenger to, quote, get out the Glock.
You just don't know what somebody's going to do, especially when they get angry.
You know who is out there who's going to pull a gun out, who's going to, get a little bit too mad, take it a little too far.
Thankfully, no one was hurt in that shooting. Cape PD is still investigating. We'll let you know if anyone is arrested.
Well, if you drive in Cape Coral, listen up this morning. Today, the city is installing all-way stop signs at the intersection of Santa Barbara Boulevard and Wilmington Parkway. Now, the city's Public Works Department completed a field review that showed stop signs are needed because of a roadway improvement at the boat ramp entry.
A man is videoed at the Fort Myers Beach Walmart spewing racial slurs at a woman over a parking spot. And the woman, who is 8 months pregnant, stopped at the Walmart on San Carlos Boulevard after a doctor's appointment. As she was waiting for a parking spot to open up, a man drove up and put his blinker on, trying to take that spot. She motioned to the man that she was waiting. He responded by flipping her off, so she gave him a thumbs up.
I'm not going to disrespect. No.
I'm just like, does that make you feel better? That's not going to help nothing in this situation. Like, what good is that going to do?
Now, Simmons says she decided to move from the spot and use the video as a learning lesson for her 9-year-old son. She did not file a report with deputies, but is hoping the video will remind others.
Yeah, people just need to take a deep breath and calm down. So NBC2, we spoke with an attorney who says despite someone's words being cruel or offensive, it is protected under the First Amendment. If the person does not actually threaten the victim, not a whole lot can be done from a legal standpoint.
Parents with students in the Collier County Public School System, let your kids sleep in. They don't have class today. Teachers, though, sorry, you do have to report to school. Today is a teacher planning day. Students will return to the classrooms tomorrow.
The Lee County Supervisor of Elections is hiring poll workers, so if you'd like to work, to qualify, you must be a registered voter in Lee County and be able to work a minimum of 14 hours a week, read, write, and speak English. So if you want to apply, just go to our website at nbc2.com and be sure to click on news links. It is 5:10, still ahead. A teenager falls to his death at an Orlando theme park. The family's lawyer details who could be at fault.
And what's that in the sky? Is it a bird, a plane? How about a fish? We'll tell you where people had to duck for cover at 5:14.
Well, we know it wasn't rain. It was a dry weekend, and that's becoming a problem with the fire danger. We've got Lee County in the very high fire danger today. The NBC2 First Alert Storm Team has issued a fire alert. We'll talk about when our next best chance of rain is coming your way. That's ahead at 5:15.
5:13, the parents of the teenage boy who fell to his death from an Orlando theme park ride has now hired an attorney. The Icon Park free fall ride remains closed as investigators piece together what caused the boy's death. Attorney Bob Hilliard, who is representing the family, says legal actions are being taken to find out who is responsible for the deadly accident.
Investigation is also going to include the design of the ride itself. There absolutely should be no way a ride can leave the ground if there is any indication that any one of the passengers is not secured.
The company that operates this ride says workers are responsible for checking lights on the restraint system to ensure they are properly secured. Witnesses say the workers never did a full sweep of the ride before it rose to the top.
And following this tragic incident, Tennessee theme park Dollywood decided to temporarily close its drop tower. A spokesperson says they're waiting on the findings of the Icon Park investigation. Dollywood says their guest safety is their top priority.
I've really never had a fish just come crashing from high.
You heard her right. A spring training game turns a little fishy for fans in Northport. A fish fell from the sky, nearly landed on fans in the stands. There it is. Fans were shocked, wondered, where the heck did that come from? Well, then they noticed an osprey nest that was built in one of the stadium lights, and they're assuming the bird is to blame.
We talked about it being a bird, that a bird must have dropped it. A couple other people that were at the game said they had seen the osprey flying with a fish. It's a very weird thing. I mean, it's entertaining.
Nobody was hurt by the free-falling fish, but that's pretty gross.
So many things I want to say about that, but I just don't know where to start.
At least it missed the peanuts and the Cracker Jacks and the beer.
Yeah, that would have been the worst.
Now, I will say there have been cases where tornadoes have picked up fish, and it has rained fish that way. That's really the only weather explanation, but there were obviously no tornadoes in Southwest Florida, so I'm sure it was
the bird.
Osprey, dropping off some fish for us. As we focus on your forecast this morning, it feels amazing. We're kind of in that sweet spot with temperatures. So we're at 60 and near the Northwest Cape or on Burnt Store Road, 60 in North Fort Myers, mid-60s across central parts of Cape Coral. It gets a little bit warmer closer to the water's edge. Sanibel right now we're at 70, but low to mid-60s. Yeah, not too shabby. Now across Charlotte County, Punta Gorda at 53 degrees, mid to upper 50s as you get away from the coast where we typically get a little bit cooler over Hendry and Glades County. We still have our wind flow coming in from the north, and that's bringing in that dry, cool air still. Interesting as we look at the 24-hour temperature change, though, for areas farther south from Bonita Springs, Naples, Marco Island, in Alto Immokalee, we're about 5 to 7 degrees warmer compared to this time yesterday. Across Charlotte and DeSoto County, we're about 3 to 5 degrees cooler. So we're kind of split right down the middle across the area. As far as rain goes today, the NBC2 First Alert Live Doppler radar will stay dry through the morning and the afternoon, which is good news if you're taking your best friend out for that WALK. Checking in with Jazzy. I love the little ear move she does. It's very subtle. Maybe you got to see that there, but I'm sure she'll do it again coming up a little bit later on. 7 o'clock, 59 degrees. 8 o'clock, we're up to 60, so we're going to hold right there in the upper 50s to lower 60s if you're going out for that morning walk or getting some exercise. And as we look at the future cast today, nothing but sunshine, just a few more clouds compared to what we saw yesterday and going back to Saturday where there wasn't a cloud in the sky. Here's your latest future cast at 12 o'clock. there's some of those high, thin clouds working in from the Gulf of Mexico, but unfortunately, none of those will produce any rain showers. Our rain chance is pretty much next to nothing, and as we get into the evening, it's going to be quite comfortable, but there's that concern, too, through the day for the high fire threat and wildfires possible. We saw the brush fire that sparked over the weekend in Bonita Springs, at least east of I-75. You might smell a little smoke across Collier County today and up through Bonita. 89 degrees in Immokalee, 88 LaBelle. We're going to warm up to the middle to upper 80s from Cape Coral to Fort Myers, 87 in Punta Gorda, but at least we're not looking at very high humidity today, so it's going to feel nice in the ballpark. Just make sure to wear that sunscreen because we're going to see a full blast of sunshine from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock if you're going to Cool Today Park to watch the Blue Jays take on the Atlanta Braves, up to 87 degrees for that peak temperature today. And then by about 4 and 5 o'clock, we're going to see the sea breeze set up, so that wind off the Gulf of Mexico will cool us off as we get into the evening. And then after sunset, we're down to the upper 60s to mid 60s through midnight tonight. We'll see a low around 61 degrees first thing tomorrow morning. The muggy meter in the comfortable category, so it's going to feel great, but we have this to contend with, that high fire danger, and that's going to be the case again tomorrow. Now, as we look at the drought situation across southwest Florida, we're at a level 2 drought, so that's a moderate drought for pretty much the entire area from the coast out to Lake Okeechobee. What does that mean? Well, we're about 3 to 4 inches below average with that rainfall deficit throughout the entire dry season, so that goes back into the middle of October. When's our next chance of rain? Well, it's not going to happen anytime soon, at least today, not Tuesday into Wednesday. High pressure moves back to the east. Eventually, our winds will turn more southerly as we get into Wednesday. There's 5:30 on Wednesday. Still no rain. Our next best chance comes on Friday as we track a cold front, which will ultimately stall out over central and south Florida, but it will help to pull up a little bit of moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. So hopefully we'll get in on some much needed rain, but it does not look like a washout at all, just some isolated thunderstorms based on what we're seeing right now. But we'll definitely keep you updated throughout the course of the week. In the meantime, if you like it warm, you're going to love it over the next several days. 90 on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, close to record heat. One thing that will help the fire situation is coming up on Thursday with that south wind. We're going to see a big spike in humidity, so we're not going to have the air being quite as dry. So that'll help the fire danger. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, a chance at least for some areas of rain and thunderstorms. That's your NBC2 First Alert Forecast.
Traffic on NBC2 is sponsored by Achieva Credit Union, serving the community with your personal and business banking needs for over 85 years. Achieva, banking for good.
5:19, good Monday morning, Southwest Florida. We are checking out the roads here in Lee County where we're looking pretty nice and clear, not seeing any delays up and down I-75, especially if you're heading down to the Alico Road in Bonita Springs area. We are not tracking any delays or crashes, as well as US 41. Traffic is flowing nicely this morning. That's your NBC2 traffic alert.
Brianna, thank you.
Well, Collier County TikTok star Ava Majory is going to be in court today. She's asking for protection from a classmate that has been stalking her. An injunction filed against the classmate says he harassed her and arrested the stalker who attacked her last July. Ava's dad shot and killed an armed home invader who was also stalking her. 5:20 still to come. Hollywood takes on Florida lawmakers at the Academy Awards. You'll hear what they said. Plus, we're going to show you the most viral moment of last night. Next.
And the FDA will discuss the possibility of another COVID-19 shot just ahead in 5 minutes. We'll tell you who would be eligible.
Uh-oh, Richard. Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah, new this morning, this is what everyone is talking about from last night's Oscars. What started as a joke ended with this: Will Smith hitting Chris Rock in the face. So before this, Rock made a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith's shaved head. The actress has been open about her struggle with alopecia. After going on the attack, this is Smith in yelling, "Keep my wife's name out of your effing mouth." Smith later went on to win Best Actor for his role in King Richard. He apologized in a tearful speech and said he hopes the Academy invites him back.
Yeah, Lisa, a lot of reaction to this on social media. I want to show you a statement here from LAPD. If our director could pull that up. The official statement here, they say they investigate and are aware of the incident between two individuals during the Academy Award. It involved one individual slapping another. The individual declined to file a police report. If the party desires at a later date, they will be available to investigate further. A lot of people calling this appalling, saying that violence should not be condoned or tolerated. But as of now, overnight, LAPD saying Chris Rock has not filed an assault charge. I'll let you know if that changes here in the NBC2 Alert Center.
For you people in Florida, we're going to have a gay night.
Well, the Academy Awards took on Florida lawmakers. Wanda Sykes, Amy Schumer, and Regina Hall hosted the event. Multiple celebrities in the crowd were seen applauding in delight.
Well, the quote, "Don't Say Gay" bill bans the teaching of sexual orientation and gender identity from kindergarten through 3rd grade. It was introduced by State Representative Joe Harding, with multiple Republicans supporting it. In February, the bill went to the House, and despite multiple protests from people across the state, it moved on after a 69-47 vote. Then went to the Senate, where it passed with a 27-17 vote. That bill has now been on the governor's desk for nearly 2 weeks, and Governor DeSantis has signaled multiple times he will sign it, even publicly criticizing anyone who opposes it. Count on NBC2 to keep you updated when and if this bill is signed.
Time right now is 5:25. The White House is reportedly preparing to allow Americans over 50 years old to get another COVID-19 booster shot. The FDA is not expected to recommend the shot, but it will likely authorize it. Medical experts say those eligible for a 4th shot should consider their personal risk factors. So if you have any concerns, health officials say, reach out to your doctor. All right, right now I want you to take a look at this. This is the moment a car slams into a home in Jacksonville. You see it there? 3 people were hurt. 2 of them were inside the car, 1 person inside the home. Neighbors say the car was swerving because the passenger took control of the vehicle during an argument. That car was seen going more than 30 miles per hour over the speed limit. Take a listen to what neighbors had to say.
I just heard a big kaboom. My mind was just everywhere because I don't know, it could have been a child.
Yeah, the 3 people injured were taken to the hospital. They are expected to be okay, and they are recovering this morning.
Well, this morning, we now know just how many kids receive free dental care thanks to Florida Southwestern State College's Dental Hygiene Department. They were able to treat 85 children at their annual Give Kids a Smile event. Nearly $26,000 in free services was donated by the dental hygiene program.
5:26 still to come. Deputies say he admitted to killing his girlfriend, but now he says he didn't do it. We'll tell you what's happening with James Lawley today.
And a family in Tice loses everything in a house fire. You'll hear from the victims forced to restart their lives. That's at 5:37.
Live, the news you count on. NBC2 News Today.
Happy Monday, everyone. It is 5:30. Thanks for starting off your work week with us here for NBC2 News Today. I'm Alan Campbell.
I'm Lisa Spinner. Temperatures are nice this morning. Might want a light jacket, but you know what? Make sure you're layered up because you're going to want to take it off. Hand it over to First Alert meteorologist Jason Denning. I mean, how hot are we talking today?
Some of us will actually get close to 90 this afternoon. Places like Immokalee, Palmdale, we're going to be right around 89 to 90 degrees. And if you don't hit 90 today, there's a better chance you're going to hit 90 tomorrow as the heat builds in. But it just feels fantastic this morning. And that's partly because of the low humidity, allowing temperatures to cool off pretty efficiently overnight. We're at 62 Lehigh Acres, 62 Naples Bay. And Punta Gorda and across Charlotte County, we've made it down into the middle 50s at 53 degrees. And not much of a breeze out there this morning. And that also allows temperatures to cool off pretty quickly. 58 Port Charlotte north of the Peace River, and we've got a string of 57s to 56 along Highway 17 up closer to Arcadia. Lee County right now coming in at 63 from Cape Coral, Fort Myers, Bonita Springs at 64. And if you look from north to south, look at that 53 in Punta Gorda compared to the 65 in Marco Island. Yeah, about a 10-degree spread in temperatures from north to south. Here's the plan today. As far as your forecast highs are concerned, we're going to make it up to 87 by 3 o'clock, I think in most areas closer to the coast, but there will be some 88s, some 89s out there as you get away from the beaches. 86 by 4 o'clock as the sea breeze starts to come on shore, so by 6 o'clock we're down to 80 degrees. But yeah, get ready for a very warm, very sunny day, and because of that dry air, we have a high fire danger in place, particularly across Lee County. We have a very high fire danger, so outdoor burning, definitely not advised, should not do any outdoor burning on a day like this. Mostly clear, pleasant tonight, down to 61 degrees. I am tracking a change in humidity, and I'll talk about when that's going to come and also how that's going to affect your temperatures, especially at night, in your first alert forecast at 5:45.
Traffic on NBC2 is sponsored by Achieva Credit Union, serving the community with your personal and business banking needs for over 85 years. Achieva, banking for good.
And we're starting things off in Lehigh Acres this morning. If you're heading out the door this morning, Lee Boulevard, State Road 82, we are so crash free, and you can see traffic is flowing nicely. The only thing that I am noticing right along Lee Boulevard is if you're heading out the door, State Road 82 at the intersection of Colonial Boulevard, you are going to see a 1 to 2 minute delay. But other than that, you should be good to go. That's your Nbc2 traffic alert.
Brianna, thank you. This man, James Lawley, will be back in the courtroom today. He's accused of murdering Suzanne LaPierre after she attempted to kick him out of her home. Lawley originally admitted to the brutal murder, but now he says he's not guilty. NBC2's Nicolette Perdomo joins us live here in the studio this morning. So, Nicolette, how did we get to this part?
Well, Alan, James Lawley has been in jail since February 23rd. His arraignment is happening at 8:30 this morning. According to the arrest warrant, the 51-year-old confessed to killing Suzanne LaPierre with a hammer. On March 4th, Lawley filed a not guilty plea. Here's some background on this case. LaPierre's mother, who lives 1 block away in Iona, first reported her daughter missing Sunday, February 20th. LaPierre's mother went to her daughter's home the following Monday. She saw pools of blood and called 911. When deputies arrived, they discovered a blood-soaked towel and a blood-stained rake. And we know a neighbor witnessed LaPierre's car move from the driveway to the side of the house around 3 a.m. February 19th. Lawley's accused of killing Suzanne after the two got into a fight, and she wanted to kick him out. Deputies say he took her car to Jacksonville after dumping her body. He was arrested 2 days after she was reported missing. And Lawley was brought back to Lee County to face charges. Deputies say he told them where the body was. He also admitted to killing LaPierre with a hammer. Count on NBC2 to let you know what happens at today's arraignment. In the studio, Nicolette Perdomo, NBC2.
All right, thanks, Nicolette. 5:33, have you noticed more ATVs out on the streets or highways in our area? Well, Fort Myers police say they are cracking down on ATV drivers inside city limits. Now, it is illegal to ride ATVs on public roads, streets, and highways. Sean Allen with the Florida Forest Service says it's actually also a bad idea if you ride the ATVs on dry grass.
And especially this time of year in the drought conditions that we are in, they could very easily start brush fires.
If you don't like the law, then vote somebody into office that's going to change the law that will allow that type of activity.
You can get a fine if you're caught driving your ATV on the road.
5:34, the owner of First Street Restaurant in downtown Fort Myers says he's not going to apologize for racist comments made by a former employee. The NAACP met with the owner on Friday after a former employee made a comment saying she never saw so many black people in one place.
We asked him for an apology. He said that his manager had apologized already. We told him that wasn't what the community needed. We needed him to apologize as the owner.
The owner had no comment on the meeting. The two sides plan to meet again this week to try and resolve the issue. 9 words from President Joe Biden are drawing criticism this morning from around the world.
Yeah, President Biden says he was not calling for regime change in Russia after saying Russian President Vladimir Putin, quote, cannot remain in power. NBC's Bree Jackson is live in Washington. And Bree, the administration just continues to walk back those comments this morning.
Good morning, Lisa Allen. Well, President Biden has stepped up his criticism of Vladimir Putin in recent days, but some warn that the president's recent comments could further escalate tensions with Russia. President Biden says he's not calling for a regime change in Russia.
Mr. President, were you calling for regime change?
No. After making this comment about Vladimir Putin during a fiery speech in Poland Saturday.
For God's sake, this man cannot remain in power.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken reiterating the administration's stance.
We do not have a strategy of regime change in Russia or anywhere else for that matter.
Republicans warn the president's remarks could further escalate tensions.
It plays into the hands of the Russian propagandists and plays into the hands of Vladimir Putin.
Democrats stress it's up to the Russian people to decide who is in power and that the U.S. is focused on defending Ukraine against Putin's attacks.
He is depleting critical resources from his own nation for this
awful war. So I just don't see how this ends well for him.
U.S. officials say Russian forces are struggling to make progress in the first month of the conflict, forcing them to scale back on their military goals. But there are concerns that battlefield failures will lead to even more aggression from the Kremlin.
There are no red lines for Putin and his cronies.
Ukrainian leaders say they are ready to negotiate an end to the war, but won't surrender. And peace talks continue this week with negotiations scheduled for today in Turkey. Lisa, Alan.
Now, Bree, I want to talk about a new NBC News poll that shows how Americans are feeling about President Biden's response to the war in Ukraine. Kind of walk us through that a little bit.
Yeah, Lisa, a new poll shows that only about 40% approve of the president's response, and that kind of falls in line with his overall approval rating, which is at the lowest level of his presidency so far. And while many Americans were concerned about the war, right now the top issues remain the economy, in particular inflation.
A lot of people paying close attention to both of those things. Bree Jackson live for us this morning from our nation's capital. Bree, thank you.
5:37, a big story happening today. A vote coming in a few hours by the committee investigating the January 6 riots. I'm Stacey Defamaw, tracking that big story as you wake up in the NBC2 Alert Center. Let's look in live on iNet 3, Grant. If you could punch that up, a live look at the Capitol where the special House committee will vote today on whether to cite 2 top aides to the former president, Donald Trump, with criminal contempt. These 2 men in question are a former senior advisor as well as the deputy chief of staff. Both have been issued numerous summons and subpoenas to appear and to give information. Alan, so far, they have not responded, so that vote expected here in a few hours. I'll be tracking it all right here in the NBC2 Alert Center.
Sounds good, Stacey. Thank you. Well, folks, for the first time since the start of the year, gas prices dropped over the past 3 weeks. According to the Lundberg survey, some of the decline is actually due to retailer margin losses. However, drivers, you should expect to see prices go up before they drop again.
Well, speaking of, let's take a look at those prices this morning. Nationwide, the average price is $4.25. Here in Florida, it's $4.12. Driving around in Collier County, you're going to pay the highest in our community at $4.16. Lee County is paying $4.05, although we have seen some prices as low as $3.98. And Charlotte County, you'll pay the least. The average price there is $4.04.
5:39, and this is all that's left of a trailer after it went up in flames in Tice over the weekend. The family lost everything, including their 2 dogs. The couple was sleeping when that trailer caught fire. Look at the video of this here. A loud popping noise woke them up. They tried to use a garden hose to contain that fire, but it simply spread too quickly.
All my pictures, birth certificates, ID, phone. We had cash in my phone case, so that's gone.
Now the 2 pups belong to Eva's son with autism. She says that he tried to run back into the home to save those dogs, but the smoke was just too much. Investigators believe the fire was accidental. The Red Cross is now helping that family out.
Heartbreaking. 5:39 right now. Catching a flight to Europe out of RSW just got a lot easier. The inaugural nonstop service to Frankfurt Airport on Eurowings Discover is happening later today. This is a new airline serving Southwest Florida International Airport. Flight arrives at 4:50 this afternoon. It will depart at 6:20. Check with the airline for future flight departure dates and times.
Well, if you want to catch some spring training action, Lisa.
I do
the
like
Atlanta
spring
Braves
training.
host the Toronto Blue Jays at 105 at Cool Today Park in Northport. Tickets, good news, still available, and we do have a link on our website.
5:40 still ahead. Lawmakers are now turning their attention to Southwest Florida, searching for answers for those impacted by January's tornadoes.
And that mama cow is missing her calf this morning. Just ahead in 4 minutes, you'll hear from the family who says the thieves knew what they were doing.
It's a cool, comfortable start to the day. The muggy meter all the way over in the comfortable category. That also means a high fire danger. I'll show you how long it's going to stay there in the comfortable category before things start to change this week in your first alert forecast at 5:45.
I know Marco wants to run for president of the United States. Maybe that's why he has one of the worst attendance records in the U.S. Senate.
That's Val Demings, and she's currently trying to unseat U.S. Senator Marco Rubio to represent Florida. The Democrat chairs the committee that oversees FEMA, and she's demanding answers for January's Southwest Florida tornado victims.
We were talking about the storms that Lee County went through and the applications that the state made on Lee County's behalf that were denied. I wanted to get some answers about why those applications for funding recovery were denied.
Although recent polls show Rubio ahead of Demings, she is promising a fight until the end.
Well, have you seen this calf? A family in Estero needs help this morning after the calf went missing. The family says cattle rustlers stole the calf out of the pasture. The house is tucked away on the back off the road. So the owners say that the thieves knew exactly where to find the calf, and the family handed out flyers. They posted things online and checked auction sites across the country.
It's not a common breed, so they're worth a lot of money. She could be anywhere from here to who knows where across the United States, you know.
Dolly the calf is about a month old. She still needs to be around her mother. The family says the ranch isn't the same without her. If she is returned, they say no questions will be asked.
5:45. I was out doing some landscaping this weekend, and we used the term, it was Eden-esque out there weather-wise.
Oh, that's a good word.
I mean, it was like perfection.
Yeah. It was. 10 out of 10, I think, over the weekend. I mean, a little warm in the
Two
afternoons.
gold stars.
I
Yeah,
get
we
two
talked
gold
about
stars.
that. Two gold
Saturday and
stars.
Sunday. Let's see if I can keep it going. And I know a lot of kids are heading back to school today across Lee County, so if you're getting the kids ready for the bus stop, to the checklist we go. Light jacket at first, but you're going to be able to shed that pretty quickly. Short sleeves later this afternoon. We're only in Florida, right, where you need the light jacket and the short sleeves on the same day. We're going to have a full blast of sunshine again today. So sunglasses, yep, umbrella, you can leave at home. We're not going to see any rain in the forecast, and we're starting off with temperatures in the 60s and even some 50s out the door on this Monday morning. 62 degrees right now from Bayview Dental Arts, close to 10 City, and looking across Naples Bay. Nice quiet start to the morning across Collier County. We're as cool as the mid to upper 50s as you get away from the coast. We're at 61 Marco Island and Naples there at the airport, at least at 65 degrees, and mostly 60s across Lee County along and east of the interstate, Lehigh Acres, Buckingham, Corkscrew. A little bit cooler. We've got that cool feel to the air as we take a dip down in the 50s. And we're 53 in Punta Gorda. That's the coolest spot so far this morning across Southwest Florida. And on average, we'll say mid 50s to upper 50s from 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock. 8 o'clock, we're back up to 60 degrees. Sunrise this morning coming up at 7:23. We'll have just a few high, thin clouds working in from the Gulf of Mexico to help illuminate those skies and bring a little more color. Should be a very vivid sunrise as we start off your Monday morning. At least we don't have a case of the Mondays as far as the weather's concerned. Here's your futurecast. Our winds coming in from north to south, at least for the first part of the day. But look how quickly temperatures warm up. By 11 o'clock, we're already pushing 80 degrees. We'll spend the afternoon in the 80s. Some of us upper 80s, some of us closer to the low to middle 80s. And that sea breeze will actually come on shore after about 2 and 3 o'clock today. You can see that wind flow coming in from the Gulf, where the water temperature right now is around 75. So that will have a cooling effect on our coastal zones today. Winds not as breezy over the weekend, so it looks good for the boaters and beachgoers and the salt lifers out there today. Here's your boating forecast. North-northwesterly breeze there at 10 knots, seas at 2 feet. Inland waters a light chop, and the Gulf temperatures we mentioned there at 75 degrees and no advisories. If you have any Monday night plans outdoors, it's going to be picture perfect. A little warm at first. 8 o'clock, we're down to 74. And 70 by 9 o'clock. We'll make it down to the lower 60s overnight tonight. Even some 50s possible across Charlotte and DeSoto County, and then farther inland. LaBelle down to 55 degrees. So another cool feel to the air tomorrow. That's because humidity continues to stay low when there's not a whole lot of moisture in the atmosphere. Those temperatures drop off quickly through the overnight. And you can see where that humid air is located. I've got it highlighted for you in the green. And let me show you when that's going to actually start to make a comeback into the area. So tomorrow, and into Wednesday, we stay relatively dry in the humidity department, but then you can see more of a southerly breeze getting into Thursday. And that's the day you're really going to feel more of that humid, steamy air. And with temperatures close to 90 all week, you're really going to feel it on Thursday. Those heat index values Thursday making it up to around 95 to 96. No rain to go along with that. We've got a fire alert today issued by the Nbc2 First Alert Storm Team. No outdoor burning. Lee County a little worse off in the fire danger department. We'll talk about that coming up at 6 o'clock. Any chances of rain down the road? Well, it looks like on Friday we'll see the chance for some isolated thunderstorms as a front approaches from the north, but then it looks like that front's going to stall out, kind of camp out close to us over the weekend. On Saturday and Sunday, we'll see the chance for a few stray showers, some isolated rain. but doesn't look like we're going to see any big swings in temperatures, at least for our highs. But overnight lows, you'll notice, only cooling off into the 70s by early Thursday. That's your NBC2 First Alert forecast.
Traffic on NBC2 is sponsored by Achieva Credit Union, serving the community with your personal and business banking needs for over 85 years. Achieva, banking for good.
And we're checking out the roads, especially here on I-75 for those in Collier County. This is right off the Immokalee Road exit. This is where you're taking a live look. You can see those southbound lanes flowing nicely. We are not seeing bumper-to-bumper traffic just yet. So, of course, if that's part of your morning drive, take advantage right now. Let's switch things over to our main maps because Collier County overall looks pretty nice. US 41 as well as Pine Ridge Road. We do have a slight delay right at the intersection of Pine Ridge Road and 41. But other than that, we are looking nice and clear with no crashes to report. That's your NBC2 Traffic Alert.
Brianna, thank you. Well, we all know that the real estate market right now is insane. Same can be said for rental prices as they just hit a new record high here in the U.S. So according to a report from Realtor.com, the national median rent was $1,792 last month. That's actually a 17% jump from just 1 year ago. Miami saw the fastest growth with the median rental price spiking 55% in February from just 1 year ago.
And since the times are tough, it's important you don't get scammed when trying to rent. One person in Cape Coral lost more than $2,000 after responding to a rent ad on Craigslist. Police have some advice to help you avoid a situation like this. Never send a new landlord money through an app. Also, look online to see if the rental is listed on a credible website. And do not use Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist for rentals.
Well, this morning, a Collier County man is accused of breaking into a home with 2 knives. Deputies found Eddie Peterson standing next to a woman and 3 children hiding inside the bathroom. Deputies say the lock on the front door was broken and the living room was a mess. The victims say they never met Peterson before.
5:50 this morning, the FBI is offering a $15,000 reward for information leading to the arrest of this man, Jonathan Pollock. He's charged in the January 6th attack on the Capitol. The 23-year-old from Lakeland is accused of assaulting multiple police officers with a deadly weapon. Co-workers say when Pollock came back from D.C., he bragged about his involvement. But then a few days later, he allegedly claimed he had a family emergency, left, and never came back. Your time right now is 5:51. A well-known iguana in Cape Coral could be euthanized in less than a month. We'll tell you what the city says needs to be changed.
Plus, a record-breaking weekend for one local organization. Ahead at 5:55, we'll explain how it will keep your family fed this summer. Stay with us. 5:54 this morning, a woman is accused of throwing a glass of water at her child. It happened at the local in Collier County. Deputies say after Monica Arias threw the glass, she left the restaurant without her child. Well, deputies went to her home. They found her there. She refused to answer questions about what happened. Deputies say Arias appeared to have been drinking alcohol.
He's a hit. He's a star of the show.
Well, that showstopper actually may be at risk of being euthanized if Cape Coral city leaders don't act quickly. Green Day, the iguana, has spent the last decade in this cage at the Rotary Park in Cape Coral. He's been used as an educational tool for students. But now he may be euthanized in less than 30 days if $19,000 is not raised to build him a new cage that would meet new rules from the FWC.
The FWC has come to Rotary Park and they have said that the cage he's in and the Nile monitor lizard is not satisfactory to FWC's standards. The city was trying to figure out how they could go ahead and get the cage and be compliant with FWC.
Donaldson says FWC did not give the park specifics for the cage until recently. FWC and the city say they are looking into it this morning.
Well, some great news this morning. Today, St. Matthew's House is coming off its greatest and largest food drive in history. The charity is trying to stock its food pantry for the upcoming spring and summer months, when donations usually drop off. But listen to this. Volunteers collected at least 5,000 pounds of food over the weekend.
We are overwhelmed and gratified and astounded and grateful at this just rush of support.
Great to see so many people supporting for sure. Now, that drive was organized by 2 Pelican Bay residents. This is the second year the duo has gotten together to help the community.
Today is the beginning of Operation Greenlight in Charlotte and Lee counties. So if you have a suspended license or a traffic ticket, you can save up to 40% in additional fees. Once outstanding fees have been paid or a payment plan has been established, you'll be eligible to have your driver's license reinstated. For information on when and where to go, head over to our website, click on News Links.
All new this morning at 6.
A 120-acre brush fire spreads in Bonita Springs. Next on NBC2, I'll tell you how much help was needed to put it out.
And an accused shooter is waking up in jail and the victim in the hospital. We'll tell you how the gunman put a Lehigh Acres neighborhood in danger.
Oh, wow!
And it is the slap everyone is talking about this morning. You'll hear more reaction ahead at 6 on this wild Oscars moment.
Quiet, dry start to the morning, a little on the cool side. The big thing today is the fire threat. I'll break that down for you and show you where you could smell smoke today over parts of Southwest Florida. And your first alert forecast, your hour-by-hour weather for this Monday ahead at 6 here on NBC2 News Today.